Hi, Katie. So, when I read your message and the question that you asked, I was writing, your message in the comment area, and then it was so long. I just went into the moment. The moment kicked in. I literally just. It was like I was sitting in this living room, and at the same time, it was just like I was feeling every word I wanted to share with you with this experience. So this is what you said in your comment. You said, to me, in your presence and from watching Zoom sessions, times I felt more curiosity, seek knowledge and further understanding. And the most of all, in your presence, I felt like it was an out-of-body experience. Or like what was happening that time. That's what you asked about Mercado. You said it was like heightened experience and you want to learn and hear what happened that day. So I remember that first time, I think was the first time we met. I've never met you before. You were just on my sessions on Zoom when I was new you. And you wanted to meet me, and you were able to get it done with, I think it was through Victoria. And then when we met, it was a Mercado. And before I met with you that night, I have been in hermit mode for like, I think 2 years. And hermit mode meaning like I am with myself in nature. It was just this time of when you go through the healing process. I've been doing it straight for 5 years since I first started. And it gets to a point in this journey that when you're getting close to transition from like what I call the surrendering, the trusting stage, and then going into the action stage, what I noticed last year was like my big trust. Last year when I met you, it was the year of trust. I needed to learn. I was being taught how to trust despite what is happening outside. So although there is like destruction happening around me, my job last year was to trust no matter what. So when you go on this journey of, getting to know yourself, getting to know thyself, the real you, not the one people talk to you about, the real you have to go through this process of learning how to trust the voice within. Why? Because it's been a lot of years. Like, for example, I'm 39 years old. Although I am considered, the black sheep in the family or the rebel, you still fall under illusions. You're not exempt. Nobody is exempt from illusions, the programming, I call it. So during the last year, I was being taught, by this divine force, how to trust the voice within, despite what was happening outside of me. Katie, I've been stripped away from everything that I consider mine, like money, homes, car, possessions, people, all of that. Just strip. And I am not going to lie to you. At the beginning of last year, it was very hard because I was just starting that process. When you go through the healing, you're being taught how to trust. But one thing is you learning it, and another one is when you're being asked to act upon what you have already learned, right? So last year was the year of trusting, and the world was like collapsing around me. Let me get a card because I do tarot cards, and I always call it the tower moment. And last year was the tower moment. But let me tell you that this tower moment is exactly what I needed to go through in order to be taught how to trust the divine. Like, you have to trust this voice within, no matter, despite what's happening outside of you. So then I get told by Victoria, so now I'm living that life, right, where I'm completely in nature. So I wake up, I do my dancing, I do my routine that I have to connect with myself. And as I am always in nature, I haven't been with people around me for a long time, just like Victoria and the people that I know and the people that come to those sessions. And when I went to see you, my energy was I mean, I was going through tests, and every time you pass this test, it's like your heart becomes lighter. So when you ask like what was happening when you were like right there with me at Mercado, that's my dog Gabby. She gets like that when she doesn't have my attention. She wants me to give her the attention. That's just how she is. Even dogs have it, right? So back to where I was. So last year, having to meet with you and having the energy that I have now, which is I am fully embodying who I am. I am fully embodying who I am. I am not holding back on expressing who I am. However, this journey of knowing thyself is way more deeper. It goes deeper than a lot of what people say, a lot of spiritual people. It goes deeper, deeper, deeper. So when I was answering to your message, I had to write it down because it was coming so fast, and I didn't have my phone to record me so that I can record it for you. So I said, okay, let me write it down, and I want to read it word by word exactly how that information just flew right through me. So the answer is, I am in my knowing of who I am. I know the Creator created me to be exactly who I try to run away from. I try so many times to fit in, to shrink so other people didn't feel intimidated, not express myself fully. I closed myself in, and with that, I left my most powerful tools inside that box. Now I know who I am. Now I know why people behave the way they do. I understand humanity. We are programmed by our surroundings. Everything is a code to program you to do what the programmer wants from you. We all have a natural code, coded by the Creator. You can call it God or any name you want. That Creator programmed us with a natural code, but that code was corrupted by a programmer who was very greedy and wanted us all as a slave. The Creator gave us the ability to free will. Come here and explore and create. Since the corruption of the code happened, humanity has been destroying this beautiful garden. We all fell under a spell, and we started to separate ourselves from one another, creating more destruction as we went. You see why you felt like an out-of-body experience next to me is because I am operating from the original code. I am no longer blind. I can see everything very clearly. I hold no illusion. I know how and who created us, and I know for what. And I am here to experience that. And I am doing it. I'm not waiting for another God to save me. The gods already told us how to help ourselves. So every day I do that. I am enjoying every moment. Everything is a lesson, and I am learning. And I come to learn that I am a very fast learner. I enjoy breath. Every food I eat is a gift. Every person I choose to have around me is here with me having an experience. All the doors are open because they were never closed. Every turn I made led me closer to where I am today. I've never been so happy, grateful, connected to myself. It literally feels as if I am walking around with a higher version of me, an angel if you're Christian. It's literally walking with angels. I know I am protected. What the Creator and I agree on is already created the moment I decided to come here and have this experience. There's no doubt. I live every day. So yes, when you come near me, if your energy is low, you will get a supercharge. That's what I call it, a supercharge. However, I suggest not to eat before you get near me, because as the body is heavy after eating, due to the processing of the food, the natural reaction from the body is to purge. Just like what happens when you practice plant medicine. So I don't know if you practice plant medicine, but that happens a lot. Like, for example, with ayahuasca. If you take ayahuasca, it has to clear your body of like all your lower vibrational frequencies, toxins, anything your body has. It has to drop. It has to, think about like a balloon when you're having a birthday party. You clip like a rock on the bottom to hold weight. Well, you're gonna have to remove that in order for that balloon to go higher, right? So it's similar to that. Okay, so where I was. Your energy was not heavy as you felt the out-of-body sensation. The lighter your heart, the higher your connection is. I was shown during the process that I must have my heart light as a feather at all times. That's why I give honor to the feathers I'm wearing right here. I wear one at all times. To have the heart light as a feather, you must surrender to all the negative thoughts you process every day. All the judgment you do daily, whether the judgment is for you, on you, or for someone else, whether you're judging someone else or yourself, you have to surrender that every day. Shame must also go. Prejudice, also a big one. It's also a big one that causes a lot of heaviness, creating lower vibrational frequencies. The task is to unite the ego and the God in the human form. That is what I've been taught. Unite the ego, unite the God in here, in this human form. I have done that. I have merged my ego and the God within. The ego being healthy, now that the ego is healthy, it knows what is its role. It's occupied with creativity and all sort of creations. Now that it doesn't have to protect me, right, from all of the illusion, right, surrounding in the environment, it is happy playing. So now that the ego doesn't have to play the role of the protector, now it has its true identity, which is to create. The ego is creation. The ego is a beautiful partner. That's why the creator created it in the first place. You have an ego, you have a God, if you want to call it ego or God. But I call it like that just because you guys understand it better. So the ego being healthy now, what its role is occupied with creativity and all sorts of creation. Now that it doesn't have to protect me, it is happy playing. Everyone must do that in order to shift the frequency. So you can hear like a lot, the people that say, oh, there's a huge shift happening from the, third dimension to the fifth dimension. You hear that a lot. I don't know if people know this. I don't know if they truly believe that the earth is just gonna mutate, multiply. I don't know exactly what people are thinking. However, the experience that I have is that the shift is happening within our minds. Is the way we perceive things, our consciousness. So think about it like going from dark to light, but in order to go from dark to light, the light must shine upon your darkness, okay? So that's how I experienced it. So you shift. So when you shift your mindset, right? And you will experience heaven on earth. That's what I call it. I call it, I'm in the Garden of Eden. This is heaven on earth. The thing is, like, it's not visible to us right now. It's because we have created hell on earth. That's why you see a lot of religious people. They're always like, they're gonna go to hell if you're a sinner. But in reality, you're not gonna go to hell. You already are in hell. That's why you're creating it, because you thinking that you're gonna get there. Well, guess what? You have created hell on earth. You don't have to surrender your physical body to experience hell. You just have to turn on the news and you'll see it yourself. I mean, it's everywhere. So I decided that I was going to do what the masters already done. It's nothing new. It's being practiced for thousands since the creation, since we first started betraying each other and disowning our principles, of coexisting in balance and harmony with ourselves, meaning living in peace, which peace is within, okay? And then living within that peace, then you show up like that when you meet other. So when you experience the out of body, sensation that you felt when you were near me, is because I'm living under those principles. My heart light as a feather. That's why I have this. It's light as a feather. It can blow anywhere. The wind is flowing. It doesn't have resistance at all. So that's how I do it. It's practicing. I call it the way of life, because truly is a way of life. It's not a religion, because religion tend to believe a lot, but there's no action. They spend more time talking about their beliefs and protecting and fighting to protect those beliefs, but they're the first one who are actually how would I say, not following them. So that's what I do. I've been practicing this for 5 years, and like I said at the beginning, it was completely different. Every version I honor it with my heart. I give my gratitude every day to every version that I had of me, the little girl, the young girl, the teenager, the young mother, all of them. So I praise them every day, because to me, it's like that version of me was the one that was there. So the ego, right, started at a young age, living around a lot of prejudice. You can see the world. I mean, I don't have to even mention it. You can see it for yourself. 2025 is not the first year that you're going to see a war, prejudice, abuse, corruption, destruction. It's been going on for a long time. So we have been programmed to have the ego on fight or flight. Psychologists call it fight or flight. I call it the ego is doing its role as a protector, because that's what it was sent here to protect the God within. So I no longer have the ego in a toxic energy, in a low vibrational energy where it's constantly protecting me. Now I know who I am, and I know that I don't need external protection, because I have my divine protection. What? My frequency. My frequency is my divine protection. So there's something else I want to share with you that came down during that writing. So now create heaven on earth, and you can do it yourself. Heaven on earth is right here. So I wrote that I wanted to thank you for being curious and for looking for the truth. Keep being curious, keep looking. Your higher self is the one calling you. So that's why you're looking. The only reason why you're looking is because you're being called. Those that are not being called, they're not looking. And this message, you can give it to them and they will look at you and be like, what are you talking about? They're not being called. So their higher self is not calling for them yet. It's not their time. So the reason why you're hearing it and you're getting this urge to be curious and to go find more information is because you're being called. You're being called to action. So remember, I always say this, the Creator wants us to win. It created us to win. It literally created us to come here and create for the creation. You get it? So it created this beautiful garden, right? You can call it Garden of Eden, heaven on earth. For us, it's creation, right? Because we are the Creator's creation, to come and experience this. So everything that we are experiencing today, we created it. And it's exactly where it needs to be to send the alarm that, hey, we need to wake up. We're destroying the garden, and one day there's not going to be one. So I live with that, with those principles. I am an active member of this human race, and I made a commitment that I was going to help shift the frequency to having the heart light as a feather, so then I can connect with God. God within is everywhere. And that's why I stay away from people. Usually I'm always out in nature or with animals or kids or whenever you guys reach out to me that you would like to meet. Otherwise, I'm working on myself. I'm with myself. So just recently, I've been getting the urge to go share with people what I've learned, I don't even want to say learned, because it's not really learning. I'm not learning it. I'm remembering it. Because you're not really learning when you hear. You're remembering your essence. You're remembering who you really truly are by natural code, not by society code, not by program made by the programmer to enslave you, but the real code, the one that the Creator gave to every single one of us. And in order to understand what that is that you have to always understand and remember that we're oneness. So you right now are listening to me talking, right? And you're like, oh, that's Nayam or Anna, however you want to call me. And in reality, you see me like that in here in this form, but I'm also you. I'm also a version of you. That's why you're here asking me to give you more clarity on how come you felt the way you felt, having an out-of-body experience just by sitting next to me. So you really are asking yourself, because I am a version of you in this form, you see? So when you understand that we are oneness, that everyone you encounter is a version of you that is there to either trigger the ego so you can do something about it, right? So you can see where you need to do the work, or show you the God within you so that you can embody it. You see, it's very simple. So I follow those principles that I have. No one taught me this, like no human being, I would say. No human being taught me this. This is literally what happened when you go for that. I will not say go, because you're not really going anywhere. You're more like entering inside of you. And you're discovering all this information that is already stored within you. Remember that the Creator already coded you.